This week's free full steam ahead kit is a DIY grabber tool. What can you do with something like this, you ask? To make our grabber, you'll need 6 equal lengths of corrugated cardboard or plastic, and each of those lengths needs to have 3 holes placed in exactly the same spot, and the holes have to be the same distance away from each other. An easy and convenient way of doing this is to use a school ruler to measure out your lengths, making them either 30 centimeters or 12 inches long. Lots of rulers also have a really convenient hole exactly in the center of the ruler and a smaller hole towards the end. Use these as guides to make sure that they're the exact same distance apart. We've included one section in your full steam ahead kit that has the holes already punched. Use this as a guide for putting the holes in your other 5 lengths of plastic. Work with a partner to make sure that the plastic doesn't slide around while you're making these marks. You need to make sure they stay in the exact right spot. Poking the holes all the way through the material can be a little bit tricky, and we recommend using an adult's help for this part. I found it really helpful to use a small screwdriver to put a small hole all the way through, and then make that hole a little bit bigger with a larger screwdriver. Whatever you're using to punch your holes through, be very careful of your fingers and also of the table that you're working on. Once that's all done, pick 2 lengths of plastic and we're going to make an X. Join the 2 pieces together through the center holes with one of the paper fasteners, or brads. Put it through both holes, flip it over, and split the 2 tines apart so they're facing in different directions. Now do this 2 more times so we have 3 X's. Place 2 X's next to each other with the round head of the fastener facing up. You also need to make sure that the sections are oriented in the same way. See what I did there? Now we're going to join our outside edges together, but we need to make sure that the top pieces of each X stay on top when they're joined together. This will help your grabber arm operate smoothly. But remember, if you accidentally put them together incorrectly and you find that you have a hard time making it work, you can just take the paper fasteners out and rearrange it. We haven't glued anything together or nailed anything together. You're all good. There, it already works, so we're just going to make it a little bit longer. I'm going to show you what will happen if we accidentally overlap the edges in the wrong way. See what's happening? The top piece from each X is going underneath on the other X. It still works, but it doesn't extend and collapse as smoothly as if you've got them all together the other way. When everything's all done and all 3 X's have been joined, you should have used 7 paper fasteners, and it should look like this. Alright, it's time to get a grip. Kits include 2 grip pieces already prepared, but let's take a look at how to make your own. Use a piece of material a little under half the length of the sections you've used in your grabber. We're going to make 4 very shallow cuts called scoring to make it fold in this particular way. You can use the width of a ruler as a guide to make a platform in the center that will be roughly an inch or 2.5 centimeters wide. An adult can use a sharp blade to very lightly score through the top layer of cardboard or plastic. This is really just a scratch. You don't need to cut very deeply. Make a second cut, trying to keep the 2 lines roughly parallel. Now flip it over and cut another score about 2 centimeters from the edge. Just make sure that whatever distance you cut on one side, you match it on the other. Now you should be able to snap the pieces and create this shape here. The 2 ends will connect to your grabber and you have a nice flat surface for gripping. Use your paper fasteners to go through all 3 layers of your material. You are going to want to make a very strong connection here, so you might want to add a little bit of tape afterwards once you've figured out what angle you want your gripper to be at. We are constructing our grippers out of a very smooth, hard material. As you use it, pay attention to what types of objects are easy or difficult to pick up with your gripper. Does the gripper work better when you try to pick up something soft and squishy like a small stuffed animal? Or does it work better when you try to pick up something smooth and hard? Do you think you could figure out a way to change your gripper so that you can get a better grip? As a finishing touch, you might want to use a little bit of tape to secure the grippy ends of your machine so that they don't wiggle around when you're trying to pick things up. And while you're at it, you might want to flip it over and use some tape to secure the loose ends of your paper fasteners. I bet you could also figure out a way to use some markers or some stickers to make yours look super cool. The material of your gripper is stronger if you hold it this way, and it's much bendier and weaker if you hold it that way. Start by picking up light objects and stop when things start to bend too much. Full Steam Ahead is available nearly every Saturday at the Fort St. John Public Library. It's free. Just come and get one.